Shout out to Red Supreme. I'm gonna do a try to set something up where we do a collaboration. Do a good title. Um, and thinking about that real quick, a good title, a good concept, because I really want to do some really, really good streams, some fire streams, not just with motherfuckers that just talking. I really had some stuff on my mind, so I wanted to put that out there. I know Bernard is currently talking to LAR. Red Supreme is live. There's a couple of lives going on, but we about to get in on this because I want to really get this off my chest real quick. I'm gonna title the video later, retitle it. It's probably gonna be titled like how black women throw the bag in the trash for other women to pick it up. So I'm telling y'all right now, this is gonna be a stream of consciousness. So if y'all want to support, definitely hit me up with the Cash App, Allen100K. Obviously y'all can hit with the super chats. I'll look in the chats a little bit. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the video. Definitely helping me out by sharing. Here's another announcement too. I'm gonna be eventually I'm gonna do some of these lives on TikTok. And I'm gonna go live on TikTok a lot more. So when I share my link tree, I want you all to follow me on TikTok. If you don't have the app, get the app. Do yourself a favor, get the app. It's not just for kids. No, we aren't doing a back signal. You all know how I am when I do this when I'm inspired. So let's get it. So first things first, you all see the title, so let's jump right in it. Number one. There's a concept that I talk about called the law of reciprocation, which means, so I say this because a lot of times people don't understand using someone and reciprocation. Just because you're getting value out of someone doesn't mean you're not putting value back in. You may be getting something you need, they're getting something they want, or you want, they want. It's called trade. It happens in every aspect of life, including relationships. There is no relationship that's like a normal one. Toxic maybe there. Well, even toxic relationships, there's still a law of reciprocation. It's just toxic reciprocation. But there is no relationship in which somebody has there's this concept doesn't exist, because then humans don't see a value in that relationship. Even your mother, you do a lot of things for your mother or your father because they did a lot of things for you. They made a lot of upfront investments. You see even Asians where a lot of times their retirement plan is their kids, so they push their kids up in order for their kids to help take care of them as they get older. You see different aspects of that family. That's all I want to talk about. What I want to talk about right now is something that it should be obvious, but it's not really obvious to black men and black women. And one of the things that annoys me in a lot of these conversations is the fact that I can tell when people try to come on this space. Some of them content creators, but not really. I'm talking about more people that kind of come on the space, that they come new to this space. I can tell what they haven't pondered. A lot of the reasons why I ask people questions, whether it's black men or black women, is I ask questions to kind of probe how much have you pondered, how much have you asked this stuff, how much have you thought about it, how much effort, even mental energy, have you thought into when I understanding these things, even before the research, like the philosophy of it, the questions of it. What is the black community? How is the black community wired? Why is it wired that way? Because this tells me if you are a potential. It's not even about being a thought leader. Are you a sheep? Like, have you even questioned the environment around you? Or are you just like a 2D fucking character that just accepts the shit as it is? You accept the dimensions as they are. Whether you're 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 4th-dimensional, which has a sense of time and history. This is why I ask people questions, whether it's black men or black women. And often I find that motherfuckers either they don't ponder shit. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, they just don't. They just go with the flow. Even though they know that the black community is backwards, they just go with the flow. And the problem is too many men are emotionally led. And they're emotionally settled because a lot of black men are taught to be docile, especially when it comes to black women. They'll be hostile towards each other, but when it comes to black women, they'll be docile as fuck. And this is why black women are the group of choice to basically shepherd black men, because from an early age that stuff is set up. But that's not really what this video is about, but that's kind of leading this up. This is going to be about black women today. I was thinking about how black women talk about they're not protected, they're not provided for, all these complaints they like to give and just lay at black men's feet. And the thing that kills me about that is that when you really think about it, it's kind of like, okay, what are you giving? So what I would ask black women, and I was actually going to put Danica Marie in this title, and I still might, because her kind of school of thought comes in here. I would ask, so I got a question. You coming to me with an invoice. You're fucking invoicing me. That's what you're doing. So my question is, what have you done? What have you done for me to pay these debts? What is in this fucking invoice? Kind of like somebody that's worked on me. What the fuck have you done? Because all I see is you giving an invoice, and I'm trying to find out what services did you render for this invoice. Well, you're supposed to do it just. Let me actually back up a little bit. So I was looking at Red Supreme's stream. That's actually going on right now. Shout out to Red Supreme. In fact, if you was watching that, go back and then come back here. And I'm watching Red Supreme. He's talking about, if you pay 100% of the bills, you're a John. Which I agree with that sentiment. I definitely understand why somebody would say it. And I actually do agree with that sentiment. And I was thinking, when somebody's, and by the way, cut to the chase, would definitely agree with that shit too. I was thinking, people will pay 100% of the bills and they won't consider, they'll say, oh, well, that's just what men do. But the thing is, you're not dealing with the same type of women that shout out to Kevin Samuels, but Kevin Samuel, and I'm not saying Kevin Samuels is talking to a different class of people in a different situation. So let me be very clear about that. Upper class rules may be a little bit different because you're dealing with the upper class rules is different because if you're dealing with the right type of female, when I say the right type of female, as far as how they've been socialized to not want to be kicked out of, we'll call it, the Garden of Eden. Meaning, if you get kicked, or Mount Olympus, if you get kicked out of Mount Olympus and you be put with the regular people, yeah, you can go through your whole phase, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get back there. There's a difference between being nigger rich, hood rich, and actually having money and having wealth. You can't be contrary to popular belief, and O'Shea mentioned this on his video, you can't move into certain neighborhoods if the community refuses to have you. And you can't just hide behind race, because truth be told, they usually have a couple of token people in there just to cover their ass. But those people definitely fit at least the aesthetic as to what people want a certain community to be at. A lot of people don't understand that. You can't, just because you have money does not mean you can buy your way into every community. You can't. That's not how that works. And there's ways around that a little bit, but usually people that got money, but even when they talk to people as new money, they usually don't know all the tricks. That's why they call new money. And especially people that are from a certain class, a certain kind of culture mindset, even if they got paper, they don't know all the tricks. This is why you can give somebody win the lottery and they still lose it. So they wouldn't know the tricks to kind of en route around that anyway, let alone they'll just try to knock down the front door as far as the community, so to speak. Now, there's certain communities, obviously, that if you got money, you can get into it. But there's certain exclusive communities, they're not playing that game. So my point is that when you get kicked out of this group, it's not something you can just readily access just by fucking another nigga. And then a lot of dudes, a lot of these kind of groups that Kevin stuff deals in, those folks, those dudes, if you're bringing in whores or women that just openly slumming it like that, those dudes will get punished for that to a certain extent, as far as their social circle, and their social circle leads to economics. So it matters. So, and follow me here. So you can't just women can't just hold their way back into certain shit. They can't. This is why a lot of women, even if they make money, they stay regulate. They still they sexually regulate themselves to like certain dudes. Number one is because they're more comfortable with, and number two is because they have control over those situations. Now, the point of that is that really inspired this video was this idea of the bag. Women love to talk about the bag. So I'm gonna adjust this chair down to your level. Since y'all like to talk about the bag, since women, you got women that supposedly don't even come from that culture group, like to use verbiage. And look, I'm a marketer, so I got respect for that. But are we trying to sell bitches something, or are we trying to actually get chicks to change? So when you speak in their fucking language, you're meeting them at their level and not challenging them. You know this Road Lord Cutno is not going to use the term the fucking bag. Because quite frankly, women of a certain class group don't use that term. That's some shit that low class women that don't know nothing about money really say. For real. So I'm thinking about the bag. Women talk about getting the bag, and it really dawned on me. And this is the epiphany right here. The difference, let me be very clear here. When I say black women, I'm talking about the culture of black women. I know I always tell y'all 80% to 20%, meaning most but not all. But so it's a certain standard operating procedure. Anybody that's not in the slow class should automatically understand that. But I gotta give that disclaimer because you got a bunch of idiots that they like to listen with their hearts. And not their mind. So they assume if you say black women, you must mean 100%. That's retarded, but whatever. The epiphany is that black women, because black women are so busy trying to prove they're better than black men or compete with black men or compete with their men, they leave the bag. As much as they talk about the bag, they leave the bag on the table more than any other group. Now, we can also segment this into the urban mindset and the urban mindset and the white mindset. I've heard Donovan Sharp speak about this. I've heard Mr. Research actually use this. You know, Donovan Sharp talks about how there's the white way of thinking in America, there's the black way of thinking. And even other racial groups tend to fall into one of these categories. Asians can be a little bit different, but they tend to fall on the white side. So it's very clear when this is why when we say, like, when you see people that they're acculturated via hip hop or that school of thought. Now, people can kind of pretend to be that way and jump out of that. I get that, but there you have it. And Mr. Research will call it urban, and then he will call it non-urban thinking. So this is a way to kind of transition in race. But even when I've seen, which, and this is where it gets complicated, but we'll just leave it there. My point is, women that have, and because to be fair, even if you think all black women don't do this, and this is where it becomes the light skin shit, because light skin, this becomes all that. But black women in general, they do shit that fuck up the bag because they're too busy having a mindset that this man is something that I need to be superior to because they have their own insecurities. And to show you how goofy that is, that's like going to a school and saying, I'm going to prove that I'm too good to be for this school. But your dumbass paid to go. It's like going to Harvard, paying all this money, and then saying, I'm too good for Harvard. And that's what I'm going to prove. That makes no sense. That's not what it's for. A school like that is for two things. Number one, to learn. Number two, to network. And if you're somebody, and it's even the people that didn't go to that school, they went to the school more to network than to learn. Like, people that dropped out of like Zuckerberg and people that dropped out of college, but they still had the networks and everything, and they're obviously intelligent. Because let's keep it real. If you make it to Harvard, even if you drop out of Harvard, that's like having a degree in the first place. It might as well be. You saying that you went to Harvard, even if you dropped out, you're going to get looked at over people that actually graduated from shit for the most part. You may not get looked at as the same as somebody that graduated from Harvard, but you're going to get looked at more than people that went to state school. That's just straight up. But anyway, it's goofy to even think like that. But that's how black men are a resource. Men Even if you take, and this is what a lot of black men fail to articulate, because I understand what they're trying to articulate when they try to take money off the table. It's just they do it in inappropriate times. But dudes are not just a dick in a wallet. I understand that. It's just when niggas start talking about spirituality and they start trying to undercut money and starting to compete with the concept of a man's ability to get resources, you start to kind of undercut yourself and work against you. And that's where that becomes a problem. And a lot of them dudes are not able to really successfully do that. So they start talking about spirituality, or they'll talk about manhood just for the sake of manhood, but they expect black women to be able to communicate the value of that when they don't value black men. See, they don't even value white. They just value whiteness. They don't necessarily value white manhood. There's a difference. And I can prove it because they value white women just like they value white men. So they value whiteness, not manhood. So it's the whiteness that helps the white men get over, not the manhood part. This is why white men, nobody would say that white men are pound for pound can do anything manhood wise. I'm talking pound for pound in the law averages, can do anything manhood wise that black men can do or deal with the shit black men deal with. But you're not competing with them from a manhood perspective. Shout out to David Carroll. So my point is, black women actually work against themselves because when it comes to a dude, let's say he has the bag, and this is why I was gonna bring Danica Marie in here. I'll read your super chat in a minute. This is where I'm gonna bring Danica Marie into this conversation because I always mention it. This is not. I'm not trying to, for people that like her. That's fine. I don't really have a problem with her like that. But I have like concerns. But my thing that I want you to understand, and I want to kind of articulate it here, is women like Danica Marie is like Sheryl Sandberg. Women like Danica Marie understand that you have to invest to get. You may get a good return on investment, but you're still making an investment. When I say an investment, I'm not talking about a woman is investing in a dude and then she potentially could lose her money. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the law of reciprocation. This is why I'm bringing that back. So if you ask a woman, why do you want a man? It's not just money, obviously. Good sex is good, but it's also companionship. Women need more companionship than men do. Women want companionship from a man that they admire and desire typically. Because that companionship doesn't matter if they don't really have respect for the dude. Now, a lot of that doesn't have to do with the dude. It has a lot to do with their own mindset. If you have a certain value system, shout out to Truth as I Know It. If you have a certain value system, then there's certain things you're going to appreciate. I'll give you a perfect example. I value intelligence. I value people that have common sense. I value that in women. This is why people can look at Love Dorsey and then they see somebody's got a tattoo on their neck. Maybe have a woman is willing to show glue on the weave, but I come from certain situations where I know that there's women that come from the streets, come from the projects, that they actually have common sense. And those are actually what real women are. Like when I say real women, I mean when women like to use the term I'm real, that's what that is. They still are anchored in common sense. And that is something that I value a lot. And I look at that through that perspective. Now you see me doing that versus how other dudes that I brought up that talk about Love Dorsey, how they've had this initial visceral reaction. Like it's been very visceral. Even Marcus had it for a hot second. Even though Marcus is from Chicago. These are dudes and Platinum's from Memphis. So these are dudes that they've been around these chicks. And that should give you a lot of insight about me. Because I always get put into the square category. Squares are not supposed to be comfortable around women like that. But I told you it's not so much about the class. It's about, are you operating from a level of common sense or not? Because even women of the higher, of quote unquote professional classes can still not operate within common sense. Or not be real. So my point is, going back to the law of reciprocation, just like they're saying, men are very simple. When men want sex and respect, it's really sex, respect, cooperation. And really, if you're feminine, chances are you're giving those up. Dudes will deal with a female actor. If dudes are getting respect, sex, and cooperation from a woman, dudes will deal with like a certain tomboyishness out of woman. Black women try to talk about, oh, well, it's hard for me to be feminine for X, Y, and Z. Okay, do you respect the nigga you with? Are you fucking the nigga you with? Because you could be fucking him and not respect him. That's that toxic shit that I was talking about. Do you respect the nigga you with? Do you fuck the nigga you with? And are you cooperating with the nigga you with? And if you don't respect him, chances are you ain't cooperating with him. And even Love Dorsey said, if you don't respect the nigga you with, then why you with him? Not no, it's your fault. She said either you're controlling ass bitch, or why you with him. Because if you're a controlling ass bitch, then that's why you with him. Either way, that's your problem because that's your choice. But that still empowers women to make a choice. You shouldn't be with a nigga like, oh, well, black men ain't shit. Okay, fine. Black men ain't shit. You shouldn't be with them then. Because the nigga you fucking, you still choosing to fuck. That means you can't say you don't like ain't shit niggas, but you still giving pussy to ain't shit niggas. At some point, it comes back to you making the decision, bitch. That's what Love Dorsey would say. So if you with the nigga, you need to fall the fuck back and trust why you with the nigga. If he's not being a man, then why you with him? I mean, for real, it still comes back to you. It ain't on the man to change. It's on you to get who the fuck you think you need to get in order to have what you want. Cause these women are making it sound like they're not making decisions. That like somebody's just assigning them men and they don't like it. And that's bullshit. So my point is, it's the law. I don't care what you're getting out of it. It's the law of reciprocation. Men are very simple. Femininity, hell, notice I didn't even bring up fitness. I didn't even bring that up because, truth be told, the fact that we have to even have a debate in the black manosphere about women's weight, I'm gonna be positive on that. You cannot tell me that black men have not accepted this thing called a black woman that has presented themselves today. Black men, for the most part, has accepted that in all its aspects. It's not the majority that's bucking against that of black men. We're still in the minority, unfortunately. The millennials are not fully online yet. So my point is, yet we're seen as we don't like black women, we hate black women, we don't take black women as we are. We already take black women as they are. The fact that black women can still get dick and be like north of 250 pounds, the fact that you can see all these fat hoes with babies like that, man, please, these chicks didn't gain all that weight just in pregnancy, not that much. That tells you all you need to know. But my point is, going back to it, the law of reciprocation. So, what are you doing to get the bag? Women talk about black men aren't protecting, providing. I'm like, bitch, you're invoicing me. What services have you rendered to me? Well, you just supposed to do it because that's what men do. No, men don't protect and provide for what they don't see as something they control or are responsible for. And when you accepted feminism, you accept it to be an absolute defiance and therefore competition with men. So if you're in competition with men, that's like men protecting and providing for white men or Latin men. You wouldn't do that because you're in competition. This is why when you look at the mindset of black women, and this is where Danica Marie comes in. Danica Marie, from what I observe and how she talks, I've listened to her for a long time. The main gripe that she has with black women, it kind of puts her in antithesis to black women. It's not necessarily that she's just gassing up men to be gassing up men. She believes, like Sheryl Sandberg, a lot of women are stupid. A lot of women don't understand that you have to invest in an environment that's going to ultimately benefit you probably more. Men do more that because we're superior. I get that. The issue though is and this is where Kevin, by the way, was talking. It's a recent upload he's got. Maybe not the last one, the one before, with this kind of hefty chick. Where she was talking, what he was talking about, like what men do, and she couldn't articulate really. She was trying to say, well, men owe women support, because he was asking her, what do women owe men? And she was just saying support. But the thing is, you all don't even support men. You don't even invest in environments that show any kind of respect for men. Where's the stepdaddy holiday? Like even pseudo holiday, social media holiday that glorifies dudes that are stepdads. Not in the way that undercuts the original father, but in the way to let people know they appreciate it. You don't see that. What you see is a whole bunch of simping language that makes other dudes attack stepfathers for even doing that. And you see a lot of Russell Wilson niggas do goofy ass shit, like putting his face in his wife's ass crack, because that's what he believes is what he's supposed to do. But the point is, you all are asking basically a competitor. It's like you're asking you all have operated. This is why people say with black women left the table. You all are basically asking a competing force to help protect you when you have told that force throughout its entire life you don't need them, and therefore and when women say I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, what you're saying is I don't respect men. You niggas ain't shit. Well, it don't matter what you're saying. I'm telling you how we interpret it. What you're saying is irrelevant because you're asking us for shit. So it's all these. So when you really understand this, you understand the goofiness. And my point, all coming back to it, is you got all these women talk about get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. These Makila Pinks, all these other chicks, get the bag, get the bag. And it's like you don't even know the fundamental basis of how to get the bag. Because you don't even understand the law of reciprocation. You're too busy trying to treat a black man like a lick and a black man like a John. This is why these dudes are out here saying if you give a bitch anything, you're a simp. Because truth is, there's some truth to that. Here's the truth. The truth is, if a bitch will fuck a nigga for free, if you give that bitch anything, you can't say you're on the same level as the bitch that, in that woman's mind. You cannot say you are just as much of a man in that woman's eyes as the nigga she will fuck for free. You can't say that, because in her eyes, you're not. Because if you were, she would fuck you for free irregardless of the money you have. And see, when dudes understand that, now you got dudes that saying, well, I'm only gonna engage on that parameter. Now people say, well, what about Kevin talking about you gotta pay for everything? He's talking about a wife. That's different. So we're going to go ahead and segment that out, because he talks about marriage. He ain't talking about being out here fucking. So we're not talking about marriage. We're talking about the dating market. So that X's that out. But truth be told, money can help. And sure, that's cool. That's cool. But we know how these women operate. We know how they operate. They're not on, like, and I'm talking about black women, and other races of women do it too. But the truth is, this is the difference between black women and like non-black women. A lot of non-black women that are not trying to act black. Non-black women, this is what non-black women will do. Black women will put a dude in the freezer friend zone. There's two levels to the friend zone. There's a freezer and a refrigerator. The freezer, what happens with food when you put in the freezer? You gotta let that shit unthaw, unless it's pizza. If it's meat, so we talk about dick, so meat, right? You gotta let that shit unthaw before you could cook it and eat off of it, right? And when I say eat off it, we're talking about economic currency, right? Acculturated prostitution, as Ron Wills will say. Gotta let shit thaw, right? Because versus what white women and Latin women will do is they'll put a nigga in the refrigerator. Which if you put like boneless chicken or whatever meat in a refrigerator, guess what? You just pull that shit out and cook it. The difference is one of them, and eat off of it straight up. The difference is one of them is investing in it, in the law of reciprocation. Maybe they're not fucking them all every time they want, but they're fucking them just enough Just to see, this is the dumb shit. These chicks don't even talk about this. All these get the bag bitches, even if you're trying to low key use men, they don't even talk about this because they're too busy like a fucking coven feeding their egos amongst themselves. Talk about niggas ain't shit. I'm better than men. I don't need him anyway. When you need us a lot more than we need your ass because we're black men are 6% of the population. It's not hard to absorb all of black men, but ain't nobody really checking for black women like that. That's playing this game. That's why a lot of black women you see with non-black men, they don't even act like black women because they operate outside that culture group because they can't operate in this type of mentality and still get a dude that's about some shit. They know that because generally they're gonna get a white boy that's gonna reflect who they are, which is one of them like poor man's John B type motherfuckers. Which when you are a white man in this world, the country is built around white people to win, you beyond failed. Because you really have no real excuse. So they understand you have to invest something. So they may fuck up every once in a while. They're gonna do stuff to keep him invested. Now they may be getting over on him and that nigga may still be simping, but that nigga ain't gonna be just like, damn, you just let this motherfucker just rob your ass. Like you have nothing to show for shit. They're gonna have they ain't gonna have a lot, but they'll have something. I'm talking about the women that want to use niggas like this. They understand enough about the law of reciprocation to look at it like a return on investment. My goal is to get as much as I can out of them, but at the law of hypergamy and law of bullshit. But at the same time, you got to give them something to keep them in the game. You got to keep them invested. It's just like the fucking casino. You got to keep him enough. You can't make it so he ain't never gonna win. Because if he ain't never gonna win, then he'll stop coming. Or at least the people that we want to come won't come. They understand it. Like when you saw this shit was broken, Tommy Lauren was bitching. She let it out, but she got corrected real quick. Because that's the game. And what a lot of black women do, the mentality is I gotta prove I'm better than this nigga. And it's like, this dude is a resource, not to be used, but to collaborate with. You have things you want, I have things I want, but you're too busy. Your default mindset on black men is I gotta get over on this nigga before you get over on me because you were taught by the worst movie ever made for black people. I'm telling you right now, The Color Purple is a worse, has damaged the black community worse than The Birth of a Nation ever did. I'm talking about the original Birth of a Nation. The Color Purple, I'm so bad now that if I'm gonna start asking a woman, have you watched The Color Purple? How do you feel about that movie? And if you say positive things about that movie, bitch, you're pump and dump mode. There is no educating you out of that. You're a pump and dump. You are not wife material. I don't give a fuck if you check every box. You're not wife material because you've been poisoned. That's like let me tell you how fucking serious I am about this shit. Let's say you sat somebody down and you asked them, have you read My Kampf? My Kampf. My Kampf is My Struggle in German by Hitler. And then you say, yeah, I read it. Okay, right there, what you right there, you're gonna be like, really? You're gonna be on the suspect list. Okay, you ask what they think about it. He had some good points. It was a good read. What would you think about that person instantly? Let's bring it home to black people, the Turner Diaries. The Turner Diaries. What happened? Like you ask somebody if they read the Turner Diaries, and then you say they had some good points. What would you think? Make sure you support me with the Cash App. Has $Allen 100K. ALLEN 100K. But anyway, you would think something about that, right? Congratulations. The Color Purple has officially entered that status for me when it comes to media. That's what I think of you. Meaning that's how black men need to start. Black men need to make black women afraid to even talk about The Color Purple. High value men, low value men. If you watch that movie and you're under the age of 30, you have no business watching that movie because you're not old enough. And I can't trust you. Why? Because you watched that movie. How you feel about black men is fucked up. And if you actually believe that movie has any kind of validity, I can't deal with you because you're definitely not on our team. It's like saying, it's like being a Sunni Muslim and you're dating a Shia. No, we're not on the same team. It's not like a Catholic dating a Protestant. We're not on the same team. We're not. You're an other. But my point is, black women are too busy trying to compete with black men and prove superiority on some fucking fucked up crab in a barrel to even see their men as a resource. This is why other women, even when they are having a cold war with their men, they still understand their men have to exist. Let me show you what this looks like in a white woman, because people would be saying, "Oh, I'm just bashing black women," because that's the low IQ shit to say. Brie Larson's a perfect example of this. Brie Larson didn't just say she had a problem with men. She said she had a problem with white men. So here's this white bitch that basically everything she has come from white men. Her acting career, all of it. And even Captain Marvel was supported more by men than women. Women ain't gave her shit. Not a goddamn thing. Yet she still fixes her lips. Keep in mind, she's a white woman in America, so we talk about default. Yet she's not the most attractive white female. Yet she fixes her lips to actually talk down to white men, and I'm gonna give her credit. She actually said white men. She didn't say men. She didn't play the plausible deniability bullshit. No, she said, "Motherfucker, I'm talking to you." Which I gotta give a lot of credit for that, because at least she's got the gall to do that. And as Americans, you gotta respect that. But yeah, that's what she did. Now she can kind of get away with that because she's in a system. But the truth is that's what black women do. Black women sit there, and even in Hollywood, all of these black men that give these women, when they get in a position of power, the first thing they do is try to elevate black women. Even Donald Glover is getting a major deal with Amazon, I believe. First thing he did was put a black woman on. Like, for real. And I'm not gonna lie, Shonda Rhimes just put some black dudes on, so I'm not gonna act like she ain't done shit, but that's always within the context of what she's overall trying to do anyway. But my point is, you can't get the bag if you try to outmaneuver somebody because it ain't enough dudes out here that's got money that you could consider a bag. Because let's say what a bag is. A bag is basically disposable income that a dude has that can spend on a bitch. Meaning you got to have your economics in order. Not no trick, because these women don't want no little money here or there. They want life-changing money. They want motherfuckers that can change their lifestyle. This is why they don't give a fuck about a nigga taking them out on some rinkety-ass date. Hell, these women don't give, even if you take them to a 5-star, they don't give a fuck about that because they go there with their girls anyway. So you're not impressing them with that shit. Remember what I told you. Sexual currency, economic currency, social currency. What black women want is social currency, and that's something black men don't talk about. See, if you a dude and you got a lot of followers on YouTube and shit, or Facebook, well, really YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Probably YouTube, then Instagram, then probably say TikTok now. Ain't nobody really checking for Twitter, but if you got a lot of people on Twitter, chances are you got a lot of people on the other stuff. Especially these young girls. That's what they looking for, social status. They looking for clout. And hell, a lot of women my age, they looking for clout. And obviously, look, like I said, 20% are married, 20% are fine. I get that. I know women like Nurse Nerd. I know women like that. So we're talking about what this dating market is. We're not talking, so come on. But my point is, they want sexual currency, clout currency, social currency. They're not looking for economic currency like that unless you have life-changing economic currency. And by then, that amount of investment is not worth it. At that point, you might as well trick in the DR because it's going to be a much more return on your own investment. And then life experience, Going somewhere, clearing your head, dealing with women who want to act femininity. Because even when it comes to your money, these hoes act like, even though they don't, make no mistake, unless these chicks are like eights, nines, they don't have access to dudes that make money like that. Not to the point where they gonna cough up money. Just because they're colleagues and peers of dudes that make the same money as them, that don't mean jack shit. Because these dudes ain't spending money on them. That's an asexual situation. That's why a lot of your 92s always bitch and complain. Because they're talking about six-figure dudes they deal with from an asexual standpoint. They're not getting any of the currency that's coming their way. They're not getting taken care of. That's not the same relate. That's why they always want to interpret shit from a partner standpoint. And this is why I get annoyed when black women talk about partnership, because they don't even understand what the fucking law of reciprocation is. They don't even know how to play their fucking role. This is why I've told you all, a lot of y'all, if y'all women want to actually win, Danica Maria is probably going to be the best one to listen to. Like, Love Dorsey's going to be my number one, but I would say Danica Maria is probably better to listen to any other get the bag. She's not a get the bag bitch, but she's going to be smart because she's going to give you the type of mentality you at least need to at least get in front of a dude and actually engage with him in a way where you're getting what you want, but giving him what he needs. From somebody that you can't say she don't got the looks, you can't say she ain't got a do. And word on the street is, I guess she makes more than her do. So I mean, she looks better than most of you chicks out here. So with that being said, if it's good enough for her, it should be good enough for your ass. You chicks are out here looking for motherfuckers that are ready made, and you act like these dudes don't, like you got them in isolation. Like these dudes don't understand who they are. And what even dudes that are like socially inept understand that everybody ain't making what they making. Y'all are trying to find like one of these y'all want to find a Russell Wilson ass nigga. No. Because I promise you, Russell Wilson had his eye on Sierra probably before he got with his first wife. That's what a lot of y'all don't really understand. And see, here's the thing. Here's the bad news for a lot of millennial women and zillennials. Y'all are not going to be able to get these young niggas because these young dudes are a lot more ruthless in these streets. These young dudes are like Ramil by default. They may approach it in a nicer way, but they understand I'm going to get mines. Because now men, and this is where I bring back the trust shit, now men have gotten into a killer be killed mode. Now you still got simp ass niggas, but let me tell you something. It's not a lot of simp ass niggas that got paper. And dudes that are actually spending money on some trick shit, they are looking for a return on investment immediately. They're not just giving bitches money to be giving. Well, what about the sugar daddy shit? Man, get the fuck out of here. Black men are fucking. Lionel Richie. These niggas are not just throwing, that's white men shit. You may have one black dude doing that for every 10 Donald Sterling types. Black men don't operate on that code. And them older dudes don't operate on that code because they come from a different generation. Remember, dudes like they were big in the 80s and shit. They come from where these hoes are strawberries. They not about to just give you money to sit down with your ass. Black men, like I said, this may be one black man for every 10 white men that will do that shit. And quiet as it's kept, a lot of white dudes are not doing that either. A lot of white dudes will just go overseas. They'll go to Africa. They'll go to they'll go to Asia, where they know they whiteness. They could be decrepit as hell, but they still white. And if they coughing up some money, so this idea that it's that many motherfuckers spending money like that, that's bullshit. Like that's an untapped resource. That's not true. And if it was, you wouldn't have so many hoes getting on OnlyFans like that. Anyway, shout out to Everyday Valet. A black woman with a man is protected, and as long as the woman is in pocket, I'll take care of the bills and the money. I don't mind paying. I don't what I want. I mean, it is. Look, man, if you're in a committed relationship and shit, and obviously you all know if you getting a good deal of that, that's fine. But we're not talking. But you know what I'm talking about. We're not talking about, and I know people that are in cohabitating relationships with the mother of their child and they're living together and they're not married officially, but they're married in all but name. I'm not talking about that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the situation. I'm talking about dudes that leave with their money. That's what I'm talking about. You know it. I know it. Harambe, shout out to the $5 super chat. They mostly go out and eat on vacations with each other. Dudes with money aren't dealing with them like people think. Really, only sex. Well, what I'm saying is you're not impressing a chick with money like that because they, and I'm giving you like practical reasons why that's not the case. Because I think a lot of dudes don't understand that. So if you don't have, so a lot of these women want ballers. Like really, they think six figures is the low end. They think they're low balling when they answer when they are saying they want a dude that makes six figures. They're really talking about 100K. They really think that's the low ball. And if you notice, the reason why a lot of women tend to say that, no matter what socioeconomic background they have, is part of it is where they live, but also part of it, a big part of it is they know they don't want niggas that can just take care of themselves, that, as Love Dorsey would say, have the basics. They want niggas that can actually break off like life-changing money or secure money. Like they want a fucking like retainer. That's what the fuck these chicks are actually trying to get. Now here's the thing. Here's where that becomes insidious. I can respect the woman that has that standard, but you got women that they're basically fucking niggas. They're fucking niggas for free, and then they want other niggas to take care of them. Because I don't give a fuck, man. All these hoes, even if they're not actively fucking dudes, all these chicks got a roster just by proxy of how the game is, how women get approached. And some dudes know that they're gonna have to leave with their sexual currency because they ain't gonna do shit. You got niggas. Why you think black men like being in the gym so fucking much? That's. I mean, real talk. I mean, that you know, you go in there working. You ain't gotta have no money. You work in the gym, get that shit. I mean, this is what fucking what you call it always said, the Dom game. That's really what he said. Get in the gym, get shit up. You really don't need nothing else. Cause you could just trade on sexual currency. That's really what it is. Motherfucker talk about she like, you broke. You ain't need no money. And the gym membership is only $20. If you got the time to do it, you good. You get that jawline and V line. These whole we already know with black women what time it is, and it ain't just black women. White women will do it too, because the image that black men have in America. So when people talk about you need money, these like see here's the thing about the money argument. The thing about the money argument. There's a difference between talking about, okay, what does it take to have a productive community and what does it take when we get brass tacks to fucking these hoes? There's a difference. So when you hear me talk about you need money shit, I'm talking about from if you want the machine or the manufacturing facility that creates the widgets, aka a productive community and productive people, okay, you need a certain thing and it needs to be structured a certain way. But we're talking about sexual access and what these women want, and we're just sticking to that. The reality of the situation is they don't care about money unless it's going to change their life. They really don't. Tommy Lee said it best on Kevin's shit. They want, if I'm sexually attracted to, that's all they want. That's all they care about. Fuck the level up shit. That's what they want because they still fucking these niggas while they leveling up from them. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's cut it. And what they try to do is they try to tell you shit. See, the reason why they tell you the money shit is because they're trying to give you plausible deniability. They're trying to tell you I did this because I did this. They're trying to get you to invest in them, whether it's at least. And when I say invest, this is what I mean. So in my business, I have email lists. I have email lists that I market to. I have to spend money, put time, do videos kind of like this, but in different things where I'm educating people to get them to sign up for my list. Now, I have to keep them on my list. What does that mean? I got to keep them opening emails. I got to keep them clicking on links. I got to keep them invested time-wise to give them me opportunity to build them up and sell them. It's called acquisition, which is me acquiring your email or your phone number. Think about it from this perspective. You all heard my videos, whether it's from another panel, whether it's from BGS, from O'Shea. Some of y'all maybe even Angry Man, although I think a lot of people the fuck were Angry Man really unsubscribed from me for the most part. I think that is what it is. But whatever. And from there, you may have got me from a variety of sources. Maybe you found me just strolling the internet. And from those sources, and what happens? I'm talking to you all. I'm doing videos. I'm engaging. This is how you deal with any other content creator. And then some of y'all are super chatting. Now, I'm not selling y'all anything. I'm just keeping it real. But it works the same way if I was directly trying to sell something. So my point is, that's what women do. When women get in front of you, they're always trying to campaign or sexually politic with you. It's all they're not being real. They're trying to sell you a story of how every nigga wants shit and it wasn't their fault, and how they try to sell that to you. Them calling Kevin's show is a perfect example. He married you, so he must have been a good man. No, I was abused financially, economically, physically. It's always got to be a legit reason. It can't be I just blew up the relationship because I was. You notice these women never say they were bored. These women never say they wanted to be single. They never say that because that's gonna make them look like a bad person. So it's always got to be that nigga's fault. And this is why they have this collective of always saying niggas ain't shit, even though they're dealing with the same niggas that are not shit, because they are always trying to sell to the next person. No, it wasn't me. It was that nigga. I'm good. I'm worth investing in. Stay in the game. Spend time with me. This is why black men have to fucking stop giving these hoes your time. As soon as you detect these bitches are just like the rest, bounce. Don't even tell them why you owe them no explanation. It's not about you hurting them. It's about you being laser focused on what you want. I'm not even saying don't deal with black women, but you need to learn how to recognize the ones that you can deal with and get that reciprocation from. That put their best foot forward. This is why dudes understand women have to invest. You got to make them invest in you, because that's them showing they like you. Shout out to Cut to the Chase on the 50-50 shit. He says he does 50-50 by proxy of her knowing that I could get another one. Not doing 50-50 because I'm trying to sell her fake security that she don't respect. That's what. So it's not that I don't understand the game. It's that I just choose not to entertain that shit, because what we're dealing with is bigger. But at the same time, that's really what it comes down to. So when dudes talk about, we're having these conversations about manhood, we're giving credence to the bullshit that these women say. They know they lying when they say it, because they still fucking the same niggas. They fuck the niggas they complain about. They just complaining to you like you the friend in the friend zone. That's all they're doing. Well, we act like this because we're not protected. That's bullshit, because women don't biologically have sex with men. Like what did women always say back in the day? I'm not protected. That's why I didn't like him. I don't feel protected. That's why I need to do this 6 foot, because I feel protected. Women don't biologically sleep with men they don't feel protected by. So any woman that says that they don't feel protected, I'm like, you having sex with black men? Yes. Do you feel protected by the man you're having sex with? So what are you talking about? Because it ain't about black men. It's about yo man. So that's bullshit. Number one. Bullshit number two is this idea that, oh, well, because black men, I had to lead because they didn't want to lead. But you're fucking niggas that are not leaders. So that means if you're fucking dudes that you don't believe are leaders, then you're fucking betas. You're fucking betas out of the gate. And you know women don't see it like that, because then they'll tell you the same niggas that they're leveling up from why they're more alpha than you. My point is, everything they say is, but 95% of these chicks are on some bullshit. And some of y'all be allowing them to seduce you into understanding what the fuck, like, oh, well, there's something, she got some good points. There's something to what, no, it's not. No. I can decipher where the bullshit is and where it isn't, but most of y'all, a lot of y'all can't. A lot of y'all be getting seduced, like, and you see it. Some dudes are worse than others when they start coming up with these videos, like Honest Truth, Shamaki Way, fucking, like Amiri Brown. Oh, what's something these niggas say? And I've done videos where when I'm talking about the fat shit and how dudes cater to that, so I get it. But you can tell when I'm saying it versus when somebody else is saying it, because they're saying it from a position of advocating for this bitch. I'm saying it from a position of you all get what you put out. So when you put out a bitch can be fat signals, aka you'll still fuck her, then these women are gonna have that's based on what you doing. These dudes are advocating for them like it's something to what the fuck they're saying. I'm going based on what I see you niggas doing, independent of what they say. I didn't need the women to tell me that they can get away with it and still get dick for me to know that. I see enough fat bitches, and I'm talking about huge bitches with kids to know that. Shout out to Nick Penn. So a lot of these niggas are being seduced, or they come to us and they don't know shit, so they start saying shit like, well, why can't we all come together? Why can't we just put that shit aside? Well, shit, why can't you put your issues with your damn daddy aside? Why you can't stop looking at your mom like she's a goddess that don't do shit wrong? Why you put your bullshit aside first? Niggas kill me with that. As if you're the first person to decide that you want shit to work the way it needs to work. And when niggas say we just need to put shit aside, let me be very clear here. You niggas, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna wrap it up. You niggas that say we need to just come together, you niggas that say we just need to put our shit, you niggas are gutless and you niggas are cowards. You niggas are castrated. Because I never hear you niggas tell those bitches that. I never hear you niggas. I've never, ever, ever in this space heard a black man tell a black woman on a panel, Cynthia G, any of these bitches, when they get up there and they talking to them, or when these chicks come to us and they're having a conversation, none of them say, well, y'all need to put y'all shit aside. Ever. I invite any of you all to give me a link where a man has told these women that. Whenever you have these mutual panels with these, and I've looked in the internet with these dudes and women, whether it's the usual suspects or it's channels that you haven't seen before, these niggas never hear that because they give validity to what black women say. Even though 95% of it is straight bullshit and the manosphere has proven it to be bullshit. But over and over, we have an archive that is absolutely proven what they say is bullshit, and what we and the shit that we believe in for the most part, Kevin in real time is showing they are telling on themselves. They are literally getting on the witness stand and not only telling you they killed the motherfucker and they were serial killers, but they're also proving it by telling you where all the bodies are buried. They're telling you shit that you didn't even know. They're not only telling them I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man. They're actually giving you the book as to explaining it. Rich, poor, attractive, fat, any language or accent you want it from. Hell, even other races. Them Toronto white bitches are coming in saying it, which validates what the white boy said, which a lot of the worst white, like literally Canada ain't got, America ain't got shit on the bullshit in Canada they got to deal with in Canada from, a white manosphere standpoint. We deal with real socialism here, not that half and half shit y'all talking about, where these white women are off the goddamn chains and they run the school up and down. And the main donors to the school is the state. So they don't need men for that. With a population the size of California. California has a larger population than Canada. I bet you a lot of y'all didn't know that. So my point is, they're telling you everything. I mean, shit, it was only a dream 3-4 years ago. Hell, real talk. Obsidian said that he wants these women to tell the truth. Shit, they're already telling it. It's on Kevin's show every day. You just got to go get it. They do it on YouTube. They do it on Instagram when he does his Instagram lives, because he does his Instagram live, even though I haven't called one live. He does his Instagram lives on there. The shit's growing like gangbusters. You're seeing what we said in real fucking time. I don't give a damn. I'm happy for Kevin. He worked for it. He's got it. But shit, I care more about what's getting the shit. The fact that shit is out there. If I would have said this 5 years ago, everybody talk, you hate women, this, that, the third. No, I'm like, go listen to this shit. Listen to this shit. You tell me I'm wrong. You tell me this ain't how people in real life are thinking. Don't fucking tell me all these motherfuckers on YouTube or on social media and they not in real life. You can't say that no more. Oh, it's just on Facebook. It's just on YouTube. It's just on Instagram. It's just on TikTok. Get the fuck out of here. And this is what you see. I'm not even showing you shit like Lipstick Alley and all of the underground Facebook groups that's got women on the hit list, like Jessica dedicated groups. I'm not even showing you. Shout out to Nurse Nerd for cluing me on this, because I didn't even see this on Instagram because I'm not looking like that. All these platforms just saying, please don't follow Kevin, stop calling in. Why? Let those women tell you their truth. Why? Let them tell you their truth. We all want to hear it. We all want it on the public record. Let them tell that truth. Tell them that if water stop, I'll just go to the ocean. Tell it. Because I don't want to be under no pretenses what we fucking dealing with. And even with all that bullshit, you still got niggas that will listen and they will still say, oh, well, that ain't all black women. That ain't this, that ain't that. Like, what the fuck? Okay. You got Maxine Waters that said that looked at the WAP video, which was a pornographic video. You don't believe me? Go to Pornhub and type in WAP. Go and Google and type in GIFs for WAP. That was a pornographic video. And you got Maxine Waters, an 80-year-old woman, 79 years old, that went through the crack era, that saw black women as strawberries. That is the literal motherfucking congresswoman that was the congresswoman during that shit that saw how these white motherfuckers allowed crack to be dumped in the black community in LA and completely destroy the entire black culture. The crack era is the separation between, that is the before and after. That is the true separation between the bullshit we deal with now and when the black community, even though they still had that feminism bullshit when shit was still some semblance of structure. She was congresswoman then. She saw black women being whored out. I was born in Dominguez Hospital. I was born in the district that bitch was a congresswoman then. 1986, Dominguez Hospital, Compton, California. Literally the area of Snowfall. They try to sugarcoat that shit. My mom was 26 years old. My dad made suits. He was a tailor. Not Kevin Samuels, not a tailor, but straight up. And my mom was from Chicago, then went to California on some fuck my grandfather shit. I'm doing me. Then she went back 4 years. Went back once I was 4 back to Chicago, which is my 2 younger brothers were born. 5 years after and 10 years after that, or 5 years after that. Maxine Waters saw these women get whored out. She saw crack. She saw how it destroyed black women, how it transformed black women. I want you to understand this, dude. Fuck black men for a second. The hell with black men. We're not talking about them right now. Maxine saw how this wiped out black women and ripped their femininity right out at them. And she's old enough to know black women from before to now. She was in the 70s, all of that. The 60s. She's old. She's old as fuck. She's 80. Hold on. Hey Siri. How old is Maxine Waters? She's 82. We're going to ask the white bitch. She's 82 years old. I want y'all to understand how bad it is with them old German shepherds. Shout out to Jap. The fuck? Hold on. No, I don't want Coinbase. She was, man, this bitch was 41 in 1980. She was 31 in 1970. She was 21 in 1960. This is a woman that saw black women. Go look at black women, pictures of black women in 1960. She has literally seen the entire transformation of black women. She was 41. She was a congresswoman. She was hold on. She was 47 by the time I was born. This is a woman that literally saw what the crack. So I'm not trying to play, oh, she was young, she didn't know. No, she was a congresswoman during the 80s. And she was alive 70s. So she knew, she's seen black women. So she knows. This is a woman that was 47 years old in 86. She saw how crack ripped the soul out of black women, transform them that you deal with today. I keep telling you that government, and she knows it because she was the main one that basically tried to go after the government back then for dumping crack in the community. She's the one that did the panels. So she knew what was happening. She knew deeply what was going on. The Oliver North shit. BGS can tell you about all that shit to a certain extent, because this is shit that, like, I forget the Kill the Messenger. Shout out to the movie Kill the Messenger by the dude that plays Hawkeye in the Avengers. Yet that bitch talked to, hold on. Hey Siri, how old is Megan Thee Stallion? That bitch talked to a 26-year-old that was born in 1995. Megan Thee Stallion was born the year Tupac died. And said that you are empowering black women. You are empowering black women by doing a video with a light-skinned bitch, my aunt. A bitch that ain't black, that ain't ADOS. Fuck that Trinidad shit and all that. She claimed that shit when she want to claim it. Shout out to Kylie Jenner was in the shit too. And you chose to do a video glorifying wet ass pussy. Some shit that would have probably, some cleaned up shit that would have been on BET After Hours back in the day. And the Biden talked to Cardi B, so I can't act like, Maxine was the first to do it. Biden gave it validity to do that, so I'll give Maxine that. It wasn't like she was the first. And she specifically mentioned WAP. It wasn't like she just danced around it and she said, okay, Megan, saying good things about Megan. She specifically mentioned WAP. Maxine did. I want y'all to understand it. Do you realize that they said that they're not even going to, you realize that the Grammys are not going to allow WAP to be entered as a nomination? Because they don't want the message that it'll send. Yet you have elected politicians. Elected politicians. A black woman that has seen this shit from start to finish. Glorify that shit. I want y'all to really understand that shit. And I'm telling y'all, I don't tell y'all everything that I be thinking about. But when I hear niggas say shit, and I be having all this shit in my, I'm like, you niggas are so dumb. Like, god damn you. I see why David Carroll says that shit. I want y'all to understand that. Because ain't none of BGS is what, like 60 something. I want y'all to understand. And remember the argument I got with BGS as far as the ability to get rid of her. You're just gonna have to. She's just gonna have to die out because she can't be beaten. But and by the way, I blame all you niggas for voting for her. That's all y'all fault. She's been there that long because of you niggas. So I don't want to hear shit about she's a congresswoman. You can vote for her, vote her out every 2 years. Y'all choose not to run because you all afraid. Fuck y'all. That's y'all fault. That's why all that gentrification LA going through shit. Y'all voted for that, as far as I'm concerned. To hell with it. I'll say it just like that. I ain't got to look. I was born under her reign in her district. I spent most of my life in Chicago, but I'm native there. Now, obviously, I don't claim that because that's a fake shit when you left when you was 4. But I can say I was born under it. For y'all niggas that love astrology and shit. That's the environment my mom was in that's why, you look at that Straight Outta Compton shit, that initial scene with the tank, that's the environment I was forged in. And in Chicago is where I live. So when people try to play that square shit, like I said, and then you got Chicago, where, trust me, I lived in the projects for a hot second. And my parents had money. My grandparents had money, but a lot of that was some Hatfield and McCoy shit. So my mom didn't have full access to it. And my mom wanted to do what the fuck she wanted to do. So there's consequences to that. Literally, my last name Anderson is my grandmother is my step grandmother. So it's not my biological grandmother or my mother's side. Anderson is my mom's my mother. She died like when my mom was young. So literally my last name, and she did that on purpose to spite her dad. So my mom was even controlling last names that her sons had. Like my brother. Yeah, none of my brothers have the last names of our dads. Now that I think about it. Baker is actually the family last name. So she came off that shit when my brother and middle brother, my younger brother were born. I know Anderson is Swedish. Most of the last names we have in the black community are European based. I'm under no illusions to that, dude. And Pam Grier was a size 6. Exactly, you're right. The John, she is. And the thing about it is, when you look at a lot of that a lot of the shit that her family deals with, that shit sometimes runs rampant in the Caribbean. But see, I'm not gonna talk about that because that's gonna be ADOS versus non ADOS shit. But that's the world you live in. And it's not just Cardi. You look at Nicki Minaj and who she with, and Cardi and Nicki Minaj was before Cardi. Cardi just take it to the next level. You see all these rise of these strippers that want to sing and rap. And these women, these little girls. Like now you see these young chicks. Like I was looking at a chick off of Fifth Harmony. She's what, like 24? Like they're shaking their ass and shit. Like literally. But these will be the same hoes that quote Malcolm X talk about black women are the most disrespected. This is what you're dealing with. So anyway, bringing it back. So bringing it back. These women, the moral of this whole stream of consciousness is this. A big reason why black women complain is because they don't get what they want out of their men, because number one, they don't know what they want, and number two, they're too busy trying to prove they're superior. They are in this plantation called the United States of America, and they are literally trying to compete with black men for master's favor, whether that's black men, whether that's white men or white women. They want to be accepted in this society so bad, or when I say it's not even accepted, they want to be elevated to feed that narcissism that drives a lot of it. Now, for the women that this doesn't apply to, well, you can see in their life that they don't have these problems like that, and it doesn't matter the class, or some of them ever can grow out of it. Sure, Love Dorsey is the example of that. I've seen it. But for the women that talk all this niggas noun and a verb and niggas ain't shit, usually this comes back to what the case is. Either that or just an ugly girl argument where they can't get the nigga they want. And it's up to you all to be able to quickly discern and decipher who you're dealing with. Because I'm not the type of person to say, fuck dealing with all black women, because I deal with black women. And the truth is, I don't hang, nigga. That's one of the beautiful things about working from home. I don't gotta have proximity to motherfuckers I don't want to deal with. I don't. And also dealing with folks from an asexual standpoint, where it's just business. This is why I've always told black men, y'all gotta stop fucking bitches at your job. Because dealing with black women from an asexual standpoint, it's a little bit of, it's still bullshit, but it's a much more different dynamic. Because now it's just like, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing, yay or nay? And as long as I keep my ass out of HR, it really ain't nothing that can be done. It's about production. So all that shit, you can keep that bullshit. Anyway, let me read y'all super chats, because I don't want to be an asshole and not do none of y'all super chats. I think she will be too, and I'm glad. Good man. Usually the older women of a group tell the younger ones who are sexually rebellious, popular, tell them to tone it down and talk to the kids about more than just sex. Waters went to the entire. She did. Maxine Waters is a bad witch feminist leader. You got to stop her. I ain't got to stop shit. I'm sorry. She's just going to have to die out. Unfortunately, and I don't disagree with BGS. She can't be stopped. So I'm not, she 80. I mean, shit. I hope you better hope she don't got that Jimmy Carter blood. Anyway, y'all. So I'm about to head out. Me and Supreme will probably work on a collaboration. And I just wanted to kind of introduce y'all to kind of a slightly other side of me. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on a good collaboration with him that'll maximize, how he's trying to come at this. Yeah, I don't know if it was Dr. Henry Clark that said that. It was one of the greats that said that, by the way. I don't want to act like that I'm the first one to say that. I'm not. But that's how insidious that shit is. I wanted to paint that picture for y'all so y'all really understand that shit. So when you hear these women, because you notice black women never blame the older generation. They always want to say they weren't taught shit, but they try to find a way to finagle that into somehow society failed them, when they know black men ain't had nothing to do with black men ain't supposed to teach women femininity. So they find a way to blame the state. They code up around older women on this bullshit. And so I wanted to paint a real picture as to Maxine Waters was there from the beginning of this like transformation. 21 years old. She was 21 years old in 1961. Motherfucker, she was 21 years old when my mom was born. And my mom is like about to turn 60. Think about that shit. She was 21. She was 27 in 1968. My nigga. So when these niggas try to act like this shit don't come from nowhere, these people don't know. This is why I popped off on Truth As I Know It. And I said, these motherfuckers know. They know. You notice how they know how to ask men shit. They don't know how to ask these women for an answer. You notice that. You notice that these women never go to the elders for answers. Why do these dudes act like that? Because they know what they go get. It's because they ain't shit. The end. So they know enough not to ask them, but they don't want to ask the right questions. Then, and I'm going to say this too, then Ramil, shout out to Ramil. Ramil becomes the bad guy when he say all these hoes are for is pumping and dumping. Then Ramil becomes the bad guy and you got all the marriage-minded niggas coming out the woodwork. I want them niggas to explain that shit to me. Now Ramil's the bad guy for saying this is all these women are for. You know how many times Ramil could have came back and made a video saying, I told you niggas. Now it's so bad, you literally got women like Aisha Curry. You got women that they are having midlife crises because they didn't have their hoe phase. A hoe phase is just something you're supposed to have. These women are really advocating for, they want to go into the thought NBA, the thought professional leagues, and at the end of that, they want to sign off. They want to sign a golden parachute contract to a high value man, a Russell Wilson ass nigga that will take care of them and make them feel like a classy woman again. That's really what the fuck they want. And they actually believe that that's what the fuck people are supposed to do. I say, if that's what you want, you need to go ahead and find you the nearest white man or Latin man that'll buy that. Because that shit ain't sold in my store. We don't offer that, and we ain't offering that. Anyway. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all super chats, all of y'all. If y'all want to support, make sure y'all hit me up on Cash App. Cash App is Allen100K, $ Allen 100K, $ ALLEN 100K. I understand, it's cool. I appreciate y'all watching and everything. But also I'll say this too. One thing is, when I start posting this link for this TikTok shit, I want y'all to download that app and just get on it. Just get on it. Get on it and search around with it. I think you'll be surprised, but I'm going to take a lot of my stuff. I'm doing YouTube, but I'm going to take a lot of my stuff on TikTok. Now I'm telling y'all right now, before y'all go and do that, most of the shit I'm not talking red pill shit on TikTok. I'm talking internet marketing, how to take control of your life, how to put income in there. So if you go there, you're going to go there for more of the classic black men stuff, more of how to flip stuff, more how to get this money. I'm going to be collaborating with some people. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers or followers, which I could get in order to do lives over there. And I'm gonna work on, so it's gonna be off the chains, man. Because so we gonna get at it. That is what they want. They're like a thought running back. They want at 35 years old, they think they supposed to get a retirement plan. That's what they want. They want to play in the thought leagues, Division 1. Who can be the biggest hoe? You know who's top 5 players out here right now? Lori Harvey. You know who the Michael Jordan is? Kim Kardashian. What do you think the thought NBA symbol should be? You want to know what the thought NBA symbol should be? It should be that silhouette. I got a silhouette for you. I got one with Rachel Fit. She would be a great silhouette. I'll upload that on my I'm gonna make that thought NBA symbol and upload that on my community tab. You know who is the legend? The legend? No, Kim Kardashian is LeBron James. You know who the Michael Jordan is? The Michael Jordan is Marilyn Monroe. All these hoes worship the patron saint of Marilyn Monroe. Exactly, you're right. There is no such thing as a whole phase. I absolutely agree. There is no such thing as a whole phase. And that needs to be another video. There is no whole phase. You are who you are. Once that woman tastes that blood, they never lose a taste for it. You never lose a taste for good dick. Females never lose that. I don't give a fuck who they are. They just start cheating on the low. No, little Kim ain't, because at the end of the day, little Kim never remember. Little Kim wanted Biggie, and Biggie went with what you call, I forget her name, Faith Evans, and that's when Lil Kim started transforming herself. So Lil Kim never won a championship. Lil Kim is kind of like Steve Francis or Steph Farr. She's like one of them legends that are really good, but they didn't win a championship. Nah, Monica Lewinsky is like what it like a walk. She's like a walk on. She's like Jeremy Lin. She's a walk on that had like a really really good year. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna leave this up. This one I am gonna leave up. I appreciate the super chats. To Krill, yep. To Krill writes, there's no such thing as a hoe phase. She is who she is. She wants to be a hoe when she's young, but a wife when she's old. Fuck out of here. Yeah, because what do they say? When Kevin gets them and they know they're trapped, what do they say? I was young. I'm like, okay, you was young. We all make mistakes. But there's mistakes and there's life-changing decisions. You ask a nigga, well, you got it. Don't even get me started. Anyway, y'all, it's been real. Yeah, she would be Reggie Miller or Patrick. You're right. You're right about that. Yeah, I give Lil Kim a little bit more respect than that because she definitely had impact in the game. I'm not gonna act like she didn't. A walk on. Yeah, she's a walk on. She's like, I didn't really know because she ain't got the look. You right, but Donna would be like Wilt Chamberlain or no, not Wilt Chamberlain, but she would be like Magic Johnson. That's who Madonna would be, Magic Johnson or Clyde Drexler. I say Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson had more impact. But that's what it is because that's how they talking. Everybody said the sexual politicking Olympics. What do you think that what do you think that busted challenge is? What do you think that busted challenge is? What do you think that for the D challenge is? That's them hoes playing fantasy sports. They're playing fantasy hoe politics. Fantasy hoe Olympics. You get to do it from the comfort of your own phone. Anyway. All right, y'all. This has been Edward signing off. Peace. Like I said, be lookout for those links at TikTok. Make sure you download that shit. It's gonna be under my main name as well. So we're gonna get it. That's something I'm gonna be pushing. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, you're right. You're not either John Wooden or fucking Bill Belichick. Shit, she might be like Vince Lombardi, man. Anyway, this is Edward signing off. Peace.